And that's why I believe in Glow. Glow, I halo, I halo.
And every punch, a good left hand to the body and back up top from Adorno.
That was a brutal body shot, left hook to the liver.
And Sparkly warns him for tagging him a little bit on his back when they clinch, but Joseph throwing with bad intentions to start this fight.
And you see Tijuana on the back of the trunks of Garcia, where there's just something in the water there. Where some of the greatest, toughest fighters come from.
Exactly. And when you get a Puerto Rican and a Mexican, I mean, some of the best fights in boxing history when these two meet in the center of the ring, where a lot of the fights end up as round one comes to an end. And we talked about the left hook. He established it and threw it often.
Yes,
in round one.
Like I said, he throws it as a counter punch, as a lead punch, and it ended combination very well.
Annabelle Adorno, the father of Joseph, manager, trainer. His mom, Tammy, a boxer, is two of them professionally, so I'm looking forward to seeing that from her as we get to round two, scheduled for 8. This is the third fight scheduled for 8 for Joseph Adorno, although he has never been past 6 rounds. And 10 of those 12 knockouts from him have been in just under 2 rounds. But this could be the guy. Could be the guy that gets him some rounds here. As he comes again with the left hook. Doubles it up.
Adorno doing a great job of maintaining the range, and he can use his eyes to see the first movements of Garcia and counter, especially with that left hook. Taking those little half steps back, make him reach.
Distance is just such a critical aspect of boxing, and he, in just 14 fights, seems to have a pretty good measure for where he needs to be.
You can tell he is a professional, because he takes his time, he picks his spots, and he makes sure his punches are thrown with bad intentions.
And 200 amateur fights will help you with that. I think he was 178 and like 22 as an amateur.
Nice uppercut on the inside there by Garcia. Got through with that left hand up the middle. Which is a good adjustment from the Garcia side, noticing that Adorno has that kind of peekaboo style where he has his guard up high around his eyes. A lot of times you can't see the punches as they come up the middle.
I didn't see it. It happened really quick. Good catch there, partner.
I spent some time at the Robert Garcia boxing gym and understand that those guys and their ability to land left hook, uppercuts that you don't see is uncanny.
And that was a good left hand right there, again, by Garcia, that just got over the guard of Adorno. And although the Garcia family isn't here right now, Adorno is turning it up and making them proud as these two slug it out up against the ropes here towards the end of round 2.
We got a nice scrap coming into our hands in round number 2 here.
We do. And the fans have filled in here pretty nicely, and I think they've been treated to a couple good fights here. Our last fight and now this one as things heat up. Yeah, it's a 5-second clap. Hector Garcia, 14-7-3 with 8 KOs, taking on the undefeated prospect from Top Rank, 20-year-old Joseph Bless Hands Adorno. Garcia just, let me put my hands down and throw, or my head down, excuse me, and throw. As he looks to finally establish a little bit of a jab. They're more just applying of the jab, and you get the sense that Adorno's just maybe trying to time something right now.
Yeah, he's just taking his half step back, keeping his eyes open, looking to land that left hook.
There it is, down to the body, then he finishes it up top.
I love how he doubles it to the body, to the head like that. So smooth, looks like he's thrown 1,000 in his lifetime, or 1,000,000.
Beautiful, strong jab. As Garcia lands a left to the body.
Garcia having a little bit of success here. He landed a good left hook to the body, a right hook, and then a little chop and shot upstairs as well.
That quick jab from Adorno as he doubles up shots to each side of the body. As he ate a jab from Garcia there.
You see Adorno, he's just coiled like a snake waiting to strike. He's waiting for his opportunity. Eyes open wide, looking for his spots.
Adorno maintaining that distance with his feet. See him drop his hands, but he's comfortable with the range that he's in to do that. Because most of the time you don't want to see that.
Yeah, but he has his eyes open.
He's very aware of where he is and that distance that we talked about earlier in the fight.
See here, we're seeing a different stance from Adorno. He's got that left hand down. You see him using his jab a little bit more instead of that peekaboo style looking for the counter hook. Now he's actually leading with his jab.
Content to box instead of bang a little bit more that round. Round 4 scheduled for 8. A pair of lightweights in there. Joseph Blessed Hands Adorno and Hector Garcia out of Tijuana, Baja California, Mexico. Joseph Adorno in control through 3 rounds. Garcia has had moments in those rounds where he's landed some flush shots and some good punches, but overall it's been the pressure and the left hooks and the strong jab of Adorno that has told the story. Different pace in that 3rd round, and it already looks like we may see him pick up that punch output from Adorno here in round 4.
Yeah, I think it's a nice adjustment. You know, he's got a guy in front of him who's very durable. He took the punches early in rounds 1 and 2. We got to see a different kind of Joseph Adorno here. If he's going to try and look for that stoppage like I'm sure he wants.
Garcia just leaning on him, trying to find a range to get in there and land his shots, but Adorno tight on that defense up against the ropes.
Adorno content now to use his defense, pick up the shots from Garcia, and land his own shots. Not as hard as they were before, but just scoring points.
And he gets caught with the left hand from Hector Garcia. And he's had about at least 1 or 2 of those each round.
Yes, yep. Yeah, Garcia, it's definitely getting through, you know, and he's fighting a lot of this fight at the range that he wants. He likes to put a lot of pressure. He likes to be in your face.
And he got a good couple body shots in there.
He's bullying Joseph Adorno in this round a little bit.
partially because he's had Adorno's back up against the ropes. So he can just kind of lean forward and work. Adorno's just standing there.
I like what Garcia is doing, where he's posting with that jab, holding it out, and then throwing the right hands off of that. It's keeping Adorno's hands busy in a locked defensive position.
That's a really good point. We haven't seen Joseph shoot that uppercut that we saw a flash of, that punch that you said you loved from him, Chris. And it seems like that's a good left hook to the body, maybe a little low there on that second one, but the way that Garcia kind of leans over.
Yeah, the shot's definitely there.
It seems like it could be there as he continues to dig to the body. Big left hand up top towards the end of this round. And we're back, and things evened up a little bit more in that last round, a closer round for Hector Garcia.
Actually, had Garcia winning there.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, maybe that is the first round of the fight. He probably
yes, I had the first three for Adorno, and I had that last round for Garcia. He was able to get through. He fought a lot of the fight with Adorno's back against the ropes, and was just busier.
And has had some success right there in that neutral corner where they are now, as Adorno now takes that step to his left and moves action back to the center of the ring.
I feel that Adorno needs to refine his focus in this round, look to land some of those power shots that he was landing at will in the first couple rounds, control the pace a little bit more with the jab, and just let his hands go more.
That left hand shoots out so quick, that lead left hand.
Yeah, I think Adorno has a great jab that he doesn't really utilize very much because he doesn't need to. He hits guys with left hooks and leads with left hooks and puts them on their back. So nice double jab there off the ropes from Adorno. And a little duck under and spin. I say it all the time, young fighters, they need to learn how to use their jab because you're not going to be able to knock out everything.
And that's when he was giving Garcia the most trouble, because he was able to kind of keep him off a little bit. But once he stops and he stands up against ropes, and I'm okay with this, movement too, even though he's not throwing punches, because Hector's just waiting for him to plant his feet.
But like you said, when he's using that left jab, Garcia's not throwing. When you allow him to walk in, Garcia lets his hands go, puts that post on you, lets those body shots go, rips those uppercuts. But when you got that jab in that face, he's not able to get anything off offensively. Great adjustment this round for Joseph Adorno.
He digs with that left hand to the body. Garcia just stalking. As he sneaks the left hand first to the body, then finishes up top. Right hand lands to the body of Adorno. Always when you get stuck in those two corners, Chris. And he goes right back. And he gets caught with the right hand. A hard right hand. Yep. I mean, I'm over here calling the fight, clean up the corner. No, no, Sparkly was all over it. You could see it just like dumped on him. Oh, whoa, okay. Coming out like a bull out the out the gate is Hector Garcia here to start round 6, and maybe trying to build on that momentum that he closed round 5 with one of his best shots of the fight.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe the corner of Garcia said, "Hey, listen, you clipped him with that last right hand. Let's jump on him. Maybe he's not feeling good from that."
Adorno again got caught with the left hand right there as he tightens up that high guard. Garcia tries to sneak an uppercut with the left hand between that guard. And back to the body goes Adorno. And again, a lot of work here with the left hand. And a good right hand that sneaked. They're just getting inside. And then there's a left hand that got inside of the guard of Adorno.
Not surprising that the Mexican fighter from Tijuana is a good inside fighter.
Yeah, who would have thought?
Yeah, right. Landing beautiful, short, choppy, hard punches, too.
And a nice right hand. Looks like a little bit of blood may be coming from the mouth of Adorno. And we mentioned it earlier, and I'll say it again. I mean, Hector Garcia, even though he has 7 losses, he has never been stopped. That's a good left hand by Garcia, and he's been in there with Juan Carlos Burgos, Devin Haney, Daniel Franco when he was 11-0. That's much better competition than what Joseph Adorno has fought to this point. And Joseph knows he's got himself in a fight and brings out that left hand once again as the crowd is getting into the action here in round 6. And a left hand, a little bit of Adorno coming back from Garcia.
Hector Garcia looks like he's having fun in there. He is a fighter through and through. He's enjoying this. He's
nodding his head.
I hit you.
Bring it.
Let's go. Yeah, good shot. I'm gonna hit you with it right now.
And seems comfortable.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And most of Adorno's opponents never look comfortable in there.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever even said that.
Most of them don't even have a chance to get comfortable.
Yeah, and don't see round 6.
Good body work there by Garcia.
Adorno himself has never been past 6 rounds in a professional fight. Has had now this being his 3rd scheduled for 8.
A little bit of blood from the nose of Hector Garcia, blood from the mouth of Joseph Adorno. We have a fight.
We do, and we have Joseph.
I mean, we still have 2 more rounds to go.
We sure do.
This could tighten up a lot.
What do you think Joseph needs to do in these last 2 rounds to secure the victory for him?
I think he needs to stay busy with that jab like he did that round where he moved. Be cautious at all times and stay off the ropes.
Big shot. Ooh. And a good counter as action. He got him with a left and then a right hand. Ooh, and a big body shot there from Garcia.
Garcia really picking up the pace right now.
And butting punches.
He's in phenomenal condition, is Hector Garcia.
Absolutely. Not breathing heavy at all and continuing. I mean, he's come forward nearly the entire fight. Those were some hard punches, but Joseph seemed to have took them really well and had some nice counter shots that landed.
You see Hector Garcia blowing the blood out of both nostrils and coming forward and throwing punches.
And I know we don't talk about this a lot, Chris, but it also goes to the conditioning of Adorno being able to take those shots the way he has and not really look like they. That's part of it. I mean, you can be tough as nails, but a big part of that is your conditioning.
Yeah, throw the big bombs like Adorno was doing early in the rounds, and to deal with a guy who's in his face like this much. The pace of this fight's been quite high.
I think except for like round 3, that round that Joseph kind of just boxed around the outside and just jabbed. It's been definitely heating up here in the second half of the fight. And you mentioned over about 30 professional fights for Hector Garcia, and he's been 10 rounds. He's been 8 rounds. I mean, he's been to deeper waters and has more experience, and that's something that was talked about as his advantages coming into this fight.
That makes a big difference. Having those professional rounds, having that experience. The first time you go 8 rounds it's scary. The first time you go 10 rounds, it's scary. The first time you go 12, it's something you've never been. It's that uncharted territory, the unknown that a lot of young fighters can be very fearful of.
And that's what Joseph is going through right now. First time ever in round 7. When you go plenty of rounds in the gym to prepare you in sparring, but nothing can substitute really for what the rounds are when you're actually in the fight.
No, professional rounds are a whole different thing. Fights are fights. Completely different than fights in the gym.
And win or lose, he'll be better because of this. Because he has that. Because he can say, okay, done, been that, check that box, I've gone there.
Good uppercut there by Adorno.
And a nice, and you see how quickly he can shoot out that jab. As in between the guard, Hector Garcia lands a couple punches. Blood coming from the nose of Joseph Adorno, and we're gonna go to round 8.
When a game is this good.
Round number 8. It's been a very competitive, turned into a competitive fight.
Yeah, not necessarily how Joseph Adorno saw it going, not being that he takes anybody lightly, but I mean, when we looked at the resume of Garcia and the fact that he had never been stopped, we're like, okay, this is not an easy fight.
No.
Not a lot of people know Hector Garcia's name because he is on that B side, quote unquote. But
and honestly, after this, probably a lot of people probably still won't know his name. But at the same time, we will. And people who know boxing and know that you have to look beyond the numbers.
And he'll continue to earn opportunities like this. But a little clash. It doesn't look like a cut was opened from that on either guy.
Do we have a cut?
No, there's no cut.
Some uncomfortable moments here for the highly touted prospect, Joseph Adorno, with a very tough, very game Hector Garcia in front of him.
And true to form, he comes running at him out of the clinch, does Hector Garcia.
I think Adorno was boxing pretty smart this round.
And I'm sure in the Garcia corner, they're telling him just let it go. I mean, he's done that the whole time, and as he continues to, throwing with everything he can. But, I mean, you have to be careful from those hooks from Adorno. Because he just missed it. And then, again, a straight left hand from Adorno. And a left hook from Adorno.
Adorno needs to be careful here. He's landing good shots.
So does Garcia, because Garcia just caught a right hand. And he continues to stand there as these two go head-to-head, fist-to-fist. 1 minute left in round 8. In a fight that really, Chris, could be up for grabs at this moment.
Yeah, this fight is extremely competitive right now. Adorno is landing some huge shots. I think he's doing more work and putting himself in more danger than he needs to. But, shoot, it's fun to watch.
And those rounds in the beginning of the fight, Chris, where Adorno was in control, seemed to maybe give him the cushion that he needs, because the latter half of this fight, Garcia has given him all he can handle.
Yeah.
And continues to, these guys forehead to forehead, fist to fist in the last 30 seconds of this fight. As Garcia takes a look up at the clock on the monitor, how much time do I have left? My goodness, I think Adorno's probably thinking the same thing. The first time ever he has gone 8 rounds in his professional career, blood dripping from his nose, as he's hearing encouragement from his corner to just keep going. Push forward, and a big shot lands there from Adorno. Garcia says, bring it. Oh, and beautiful punches to end the fight, and it is over. What a punctuation mark on the end of that fight. This turned out to be a barn burner the second half of the fight.
Great job by Joseph Adorno to pull it out in that last round. I had been winning the fight because of that. And those early rounds, the strength of those early rounds, there's the headbutt here.
Yeah.
Accidental.
And I said a fight that could be up for grabs. Those early rounds were probably not close, but the last few rounds, and
yeah, Garcia won 2, maybe 3 rounds.
And maybe won a few of those rounds at the end, but he was still throwing tough shots. They were landing.
Yep.
Joseph had to dig deep a little bit more in this fight. Blood coming from his nose, going 8 rounds that he hasn't had to do as a professional yet. He comes into every fight, as you can see, confident, and he should. I mean, he was this extremely experienced amateur, has a great professional record, but we expected him to be tested tonight, and tested he was.
And he was, yeah, absolutely. He had to overcome some adversity. I think he did a great job. Got hit with some big shots by a seasoned professional. Had to come back, had to dig deep at times. All in a great performance, and something where Joseph Adorno can grow and learn from.
Yes, and that's what you need. I mean,
absolutely.
You're going to start to be match tough. You get these titles like, you know, best prospect or at the age of 20 and things like that. Like, those things come with some expectations now. And the matchmakers, yeah, you're getting to a point where, let's see what you can do against this guy, as we mentioned, who has fought to Burgos, Haney, etc. So let's see how the judges have scored this. I'll send it up now to Lupe Contreras.
Ladies and gentlemen, after going all 8 rounds, we consult the official scorecard to determine a winner.
Judge Lundy scores the bout 77-75 in favor of Adorno. Judge Page, 77-75 in favor of Garcia. And Judge Layton scores the bout 76-76. Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is declared a split draw.
Well,
I thought Adorno did enough in that last round to pull out the fight. 5 rounds to 3, but
maybe that was some foreshadowing by me saying that it was up for grabs. I mean, when I